Yo, what's going down, Green Screen Entertainment fans? Your boy Jay Green back with a very special guest. I got my lady, my queen, Rachel. Say what's up to the people.
What's up?
All right, now, today we're going to be debating two iconic films. Now, I'm pretty sure that to this one right here, and most of y'all, just one of these films is the iconic masterpiece. We're debating Top Gun, Days of Thunder. All right, so Top Gun came out in 1986. Days of Thunder came out in 1990. Both of these films were directed by Tony Scott, and both star the biggest movie star of today, Tom Cruise. And that's debatable, I'm certain of it, but I'm going to tell you right now what I say goes. Now, these movies are looked at like sports films. We already know that NASCAR, to some of you out there, maybe is not a sport, but to a larger amount of people, it is a sport. It is on ESPN, and there are people in rankings and all that type of stuff. They're trying to win the gold, if you will. With Top Gun, when you watch the behind-the-scenes footage and features, you can tell that the cast members, as well as the writers, as well as the director, wanted to take this movie as a sports film.
I'm going to send you up against the best. Yes, sir. You two characters are going to Top Gun.
So, with that said, both these movies are iconic, both these movies are sports films, and both these movies come from the late 80s to early 90s, the heyday of blockbuster and movie star swag. All right, y'all. Now, the first movie that we're going to be breaking down on this list is going to be Top Gun. Babe, kick him off with some of that knowledge to the plot of Top Gun.
Okay, so Top Gun is basically where Tom Cruise and his co-pilot, who are in the Navy, go to this elite flight school to try and be the best of the best. But they're not really the best of the best, because the only reason that they got into this school in the first place is because somebody else on their flight team wasn't able to go. So now they're here and they have to try and prove themselves, and they run into kind of, you know, the villain, and there's the love interest and all these things they have to go through. So that's essentially what Top Gun is.
That is essentially what Top Gun is. All right, Days of Thunder. Now, Days of Thunder, to me, is the superior film to Top Gun. Hot motherfucking take. I know, right? Check it out. So what Days of Thunder is basically Top Gun, but just improved upon. Remember, Top Gun came out 86. Days of Thunder came out 1990. So obviously, when you're looking at your old film, Tony Scott and Tom Cruise, you can see what you might be able to improve upon. So Days of Thunder, you got Trickle. He's this rookie race car driver who used to run sprint cars, but now he wants to get into NASCAR swag. So he goes there, shows up to the track on his motorcycle. They're borrowing someone else's car. Imagine if someone went up to like Jeff Gordon and was like, "Hey, yo, man, I'm trying to rock your car right now on this test run." That's pretty much what the opening scene of Days of Thunder is like.
I can't tell you how much we all appreciate you letting us use the car, Rowdy.
So he's rocking his car. He runs really good. Next thing you know, he's in NASCAR. Now, while he's in NASCAR, he's working with this guy played by Robert Duvall. Robert Duvall is a very famous pit crew manager, if you will, and a guy that can build a car that can go faster than you wouldn't believe. But the only problem is a year prior, he got out of NASCAR because of the fact is his driver was killed in a crazy accident on turn 4. Oh, shit. Now, in this film, you got Robert Duvall's character being a mentor to Trickle, but at first they don't get along because Tom Cruise's character knows nothing about racing, right? So we find out that his character knows nothing about racing. That's like being a famous composer and you don't know how to read music. So with that said, they develop a bond. He starts racing better, and then there's a crash, and now he can't run, and now his rival in all of NASCAR can't race either. So basically they're both out of a job. But in the end of the day, to support this guy's family, him and his rival got to kind of come together. He's got to drive his car so that way his sponsors will pay him by the end of the movie, all while at the same time winning the Daytona 500, which is the reason why Robert Duvall's character got the fuck out of NASCAR before, because a guy died in the Daytona 500. My God, this movie's fucking phenomenal. All right, so we just basically broke down the basic plots of Top Gun and Days of Thunder. But right now we're going to talk about a little bit of either A, nostalgia, or B, how the story worked in the film setting and why we like these movies so much and probably think one is a little bit better than the other. Babe, can you break down any reasons why you think Top Gun is better than Days of Thunder?
Okay, so basically I like Top Gun more because I only saw Days of Thunder like a couple weeks ago. So I've had Top Gun in my head, but I feel like Top Gun is like a perfect mixture. I'm not a huge action movie fan per se, not like he is, like bang bang shoot 'em up, and that's like an hour of that. But I feel like Top Gun is a very like well-rounded movie, and it has the love story.
I can see it's dangerous for you. But if the government trusts me, maybe you could.
It takes a lot more than just fancy flying.
It has the action, has a little bit of drama, has a happy ending. So it just has all of the components of different genres instead of just like, this is an action movie and that's it. Whereas Days of Thunder has that too, so they're the same movie, essentially.
Fair enough. Now, I can admit it that she's right. These movies are essentially the same. But because these movies are essentially the same, just about beat for beat, act for act, it's going to make it that much easier for your homie to win this debate. Now, the reasons why I love Days of Thunder so much, and will probably put it a step above Top Gun, is simply because of the execution. I'm pretty sure that Tom Cruise and Tony Scott looked back a few years before and saw Top Gun and saw what they could improve upon. I feel like the execution in the love story in Days of Thunder improved upon from Top Gun. I feel like the mentorship and friendship, that relationship bond between Goose and Maverick versus Robert Duvall's character and Tom Cruise in Days of Thunder improved upon. I feel like the action, while there's definitely action in both films, because you got jets in one, you got cars in another, there's more of it in Days of Thunder because there's more race time, and being that there's more race time, there's just more real game time situations. A lot of the times in Top Gun, it's really just them doing the flight patterns and the drills and the things like this, so they don't really hold stakes unless it's just the grade in the class. So I feel like there's more stakes throughout Days of Thunder, right? Also, I feel the rivalry between Rowdy Burns and Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder was built up better.
But you've been this bitch the least little bit, I'm gonna tear your balls off.
There's more stakes and there's more development on the villain as well as the hero side in Days of Thunder versus Iceman. Iceman in Top Gun is basically, hold on now. Iceman in Top Gun is basically just there to go, I got all the time. That's pretty much all he does, and he just throws out little barbs here and there to get Pete Mitchell riled up.
Because every time you go up in the air, you're unsafe. I don't like you because you're dangerous.
That's right. Ice, man. I am dangerous.
So, I'm going to start it out like this. One thing that you hate to see in an action film could potentially be a love story. Could potentially be a love interest. Now, that's not to say that you don't like a love interest or you don't like a love story. That just means maybe it doesn't fit. When I look at Top Gun, I look back at that movie and think I could probably do without this love interest.
The love story is like it's like a huge piece of Top Gun.
It is a huge piece, you're right. A huge piece that, in my mind, you don't really need it. And I'm going to tell you why. Why do you think you need that love story in Top Gun?
It just makes like the movie. Like it makes it a whole. You're invested in it. I feel like Nicole Kidman and Tom Cruise, she's mean to him in that movie. I don't buy it. I don't buy it.
Just come.
You shouldn't be driving a car anywhere, not on a road, not on a racetrack, and not in a parking lot. You are selfish, you're crazy, and you're scared.
I'm not scared.
You are scared to death. You and Rowdy, you have the same sickness. It's called denial, and it is probably going to kill you both. You want to control something that's out of control. That's what you said to me, wasn't it? Well, I'm going to let you in on a little secret that almost everybody else in this world automatically knows. Control is an illusion, you infantile egomaniac. Nobody knows what's going to happen next. Not on a freeway, not in an airplane, not inside our own bodies, and certainly not on a racetrack with 40 other infantile egomaniacs. Nobody knows and nobody controls anything. Now, you've gotten a glimpse of that and you're scared. You mightn't have the courage to race anymore. You may never have had it. God, I hate you for this, you son of a bitch. You make me sound like a doctor.
But Nicole Kidman is the doctor that basically is looking over Rowdy Burns and Cole Trickle in Days of Thunder after this big-ass crash, right? Now, she might say that Nicole Kidman is mean to Cole, But at the same time, it's not that she's mean to him. She's his freaking doctor. She's not really looking at him in the aspect of like, oh, he's so cute. I want to be with this guy. He's trying to woo her over time. And remember, she's a doctor. I'm a trainer. So if I'm a trainer and my client is going off the fucking rails, eating all the shit that they want to eat in the damn world, I'm going to say, look, I don't give a goddamn if you're on quarantine or not. You need to calm the fuck down. Someone else might see that and be like, you're being mean. That's basically Nicole Kidman to Tom Cruise's character. He's trying to do things he might not be ready for. His villain that he's now kind of friends with, they got to bond a little bit. He's trying to do things he ain't ready for. And she has to play the voice of reason like, look, you ain't ready for this. Now, it was because of her stern, tough love that I believe in their relationship, because I'm always a fan of a love story where you kind of really have to woo that person or convince them that you're worthy of their time in a sense. And she kind of does that. She's kind of like off in her own little surgeon world, right? But he's got to woo her and make her say, hey, I'm worthy of you. It's all good. We can do this. So that's why I believe it more.
He's the realist, and I'm the fairy tale type of person.
Because also, if we're looking at Top Gun and like that love story was such a big thing, remember that this is technically a civilian that's working with the Navy who's giving them information and helping them learn how to do dogfights better, right? But she never gives him any real pushback. He's easily able to just smile.
Because they're naturally attracted to each other.
Come on, man. Come on, really?
Yes. I think it's more natural. I buy into it way more than the Days of Thunder love story.
So check this out. Check this out. You're a Navy pilot. I'm not in the military. You're a Navy pilot. You're going to this school that's going to say you're the best of the best. And this is all you care about is being a pilot. Your studies. Life is at risk when you're up there. Whether you're practicing dogfighting or you're really out there doing the damn shit. Every single military movie we've ever seen has told us that when you are up there, you cannot think. You cannot make mistakes. You got to be ice, cold, smooth, fucking all the time. Right? This motherfucker, I don't give a goddamn how fine you are. They ain't not got time to mess around in the classrooms, sharing googly eyes and shit, and then being in the elevator and doing all this random whatever. Instantaneously, she's gonna be like, come to my house. I don't usually date students. You hoe. That's a love story? This girl's a slut.
It makes it interesting.
So anyways, I didn't buy the love story. I feel like Days of Thunder executed it better. I feel like it made more sense that he would see Nicole Kidman as the doctor, as the person that's taking care of him, that's going to nurse him back to health. Even Robert Duvall's character in the movie tells her at one point in time, you're his doctor and he needs reassurance from you that he's okay. All that happened in Top Gun after Goose died and Pete Mitchell was about to give up, he's drinking at the bar and old girl comes in talking about, so you're just a quitter? What the fuck? Are you kidding me? That's it?
I mean, it's reverse psychology.
All right, Bill Cosby. So, the next thing. Let's talk about the friendship between Goose and Maverick, and let's talk about the friendship or the bond, if you will, between Harry and Cole Trickle. So, Harry and Cole Trickle, that's Robert Duvall and Tom Cruise's character. Robert Duvall is the guy who was working with the race car driver that died the year prior in Daytona 500. He makes the cars super legit, and he teaches Cole how to race. He teaches him about cars and what they should feel like and how they should move, right? I feel like that relationship was developed more because you understand a little bit of Harry's past, why he's only chilling on the farm, why he has the mentality that he has about Tom Cruise's character driving all crazy and running the risk of an accident and how important it is. And you as an audience member know that. I don't feel like he drops it like heavy exposition. I feel like it was a normal, realistic conversation that you would have with like a rookie driver that thinks he's indefeatable, indestructible, right? But when you look at Goose and Maverick, they've been doing this thing for years. Maverick, they didn't just get out of flight school. They've been around for a long time. Goose has always had apparently the same head on his shoulders, right? And Maverick's always been a fly by the seat of your pants type guy, breaking the rules all the time. And they let you know that right in the beginning of the movie.
Right.
So I feel like there's no true arc to their relationship. And for me, arc is what makes a story.
What do you mean there's no arc in their relationship?
In the beginning of the film, Goose is telling Maverick, chill out, don't do this, don't do that, don't do the flyby. In the middle of the movie, he's still telling him, damn, Maverick, we shouldn't have done that. In the end of the
That's
movie,
their relationship.
And that's what I mean by there's no arc. There's no, I guess there is a mark.
A good, simple
I take that back.
friendship.
I take that back. there is an arc for Maverick only because Goose dies. And I think that that's unfortunate. The catalyst of his death is what changed Maverick, in a sense, to start being more responsible, which is good. Maybe I didn't think of that before, so I'll give you that. There's an arc for one of the characters. I like in Days of Thunder how both of them can progress. Not only did Harry win the Daytona 500, but he also had to face the reality of why his previous driver may have actually died in that previous race. But now that's a story to me. All right.
I feel like you like Days of Thunder better because it's more of like you're an action fan. It does have more going for it. It's like racing, it's intense. It's just like overall more like you're like, "Oh my god, what's going to happen?" I would say drama is my favorite genre. I like simple stories. I like storytelling. So I feel like Top Gun, I just enjoy. It might not have those scenes where you're like, oh my God, what's going to happen? It's not as intense, but it has that friendship between Goose and Maverick that you're like invested in, and then he dies. It's more fun. It's more like, it's...
I love how you just said he dies, and then you say it's more fun.
No, like he dies, you have the love story that I think is way better than Days of Thunder. I think it's more natural, whatever. So unromantic. I just feel like the music in Top Gun is way better. I'm a big music person.
It's very iconic, very
I just
classic.
feel like it might not have the big like moments that Days of Thunder have, but overall as a whole it's a way more memorable movie, and it just like sticks with you. Like one of my favorite scenes is the volleyball scene where they're like playing, and then what's that? I forget what the song is that plays. Is it Boys of Summer? I don't know. Anyways, it's just memorable.
Right.
I just feel like it's just such a feel-good movie, and because I'm not so much of an action fan, although I love car movies, Gone in 60 Seconds, one of my favorite movies, but overall, it just is more of a feel-good movie to me than Days of Thunder.
I can see where you're coming from. I can definitely see where you're coming from. Now, the last thing that I'm going to say, right, so we'll tie it up here, is that when we talk about the drama, right, I'm the type of person, like, I'm going to definitely look at a movie different than Rachel's going to look at it. And that's fine, because all film, all art, music, you name it, it's all subjective. If she feels like it's the best movie, then it is the best movie to her. And if I feel like Days of Thunder is the best, then it is the best to me. What I get that I feel, again, was executed better is everything that she just mentioned, but that drama and the backstory. And I'm going to tell you why. In Top Gun, Goose dies, right? In the beginning of the movie, a pilot he's not able to go to the Top Gun Academy because he gets really shaken up by a bogey, as they call it, right? A MiG or whatever like that was doing some shit, and then, really shook him up because he thought he was going to get shot down. So he quits, right? Goose dies, Maverick is about to quit. Maverick doesn't end up quitting. He ends up saying, fuck that, I'm going to go ride with my team. He gets up there. They're engaged in enemy battle. He's tripping out like, dudes are yelling at him. Come on, Maverick, come on, get it together. What the hell, goddammit, get in there. Finally, he gets in there. The music swells up. He shoots him down. Yeah, they're winning, right? Days of Thunder, you get the same basic thing. But the difference is for me, in Top Gun, it was like a snap of a finger. The second he got up there in that plane after that accident, he was tripping out. He never got better once he got back in that plane until he was forced by gun battle. But then it was literally like him just going over what he was going through. He didn't get shot. His plane didn't get shot at. He wasn't running from the other guy or doing nothing like that. He just kind of snapped out of it, and then now he's back. Whereas in Days of Thunder, there was an accident. In Turn 4, oh shit, smoke, clouds. He's got to go through the same thing. He's still tripping out, just like in Days of Thunder, but now he's got flashbacks of that moment. No flashbacks in Top Gun. I didn't see those flashbacks, okay? And so you're oh shit, is he going to make it? What's going to happen? And then he goes through the smoke, and then the music cues up, he drops the hammer, and boom, he's fucking out of there. Next thing you know, he's going. Then there's another villain in Russ Wheeler talking about, I'm going to put him on the wall. I'm going to put him in the wall. The whole entire time in Days of Thunder, this is where the drama builds up. The whole entire time in Days of Thunder, right, they've been working on this bump draft situation. He pulls that shit off, and then slides by, and then that's how he wins the race. So I feel like the drama was built up again from the characters to the story to the actual execution of what won the race. In Top Gun, there was no special maneuver that he did to shoot down the enemies that saved Iceman. He just did what he's always going to do. So there was, again, certain things I feel were like brought into the fold more throughout the film, which to me is why it's a step above and a step improved upon Top Gun.
And everyone's entitled to their own opinions.
That's a fact. All right, y'all. Now, with all that said, in the end of the day, Top Gun is fucking legit. Days of Thunder is fucking legit. I own both of these motherfuckers on Blu-ray, so it don't matter which one we watching. We're gonna watch the other one right the fuck after. I would love to know what you think, so go ahead and comment below which one you think is better. It's either gonna be Top Gun or it's gonna be Days of Thunder. Rachel broke down Top Gun quite well. I think I did a pretty good job with Days of Thunder. The reason why we wanted to do this review was because your homie was super excited, and I know Rachel was super excited about the Top Gun 2 Maverick coming out in June. It's been pushed back all the way to December. So later in the year, you gonna see, hopefully if all else fails, later in the year you're gonna see me do a review for Top Gun 2 Maverick. I will have my beloved on that review with me. Yo, I hope we both gave you enough insight and knowledge into both of these movies. If you hadn't seen one of them, you need to see the other. If you didn't see the other, you should have seen the one. But hey, you need to watch both. It's summertime and these are summertime movies. One takes place on the East Coast, Miami swag, Daytona, Florida. That's where she from. What? Then you also got one takes place more so on the West. We talking about San Diego with that Top Gun. All right, y'all. From Rachel to myself, Green Screen Entertainment, we out.